Good morning. This is Toby McAdam from Risingsun Iron Products. I've had a couple people contact me regarding the last video on how to make what we call an iodine supplement spray. They said they don't, 32 ounces is too much. Is there any way we could, like 4 to 8 or 10? So what I'm going to do is show you how to make 4 ounces. You can get a spray bottle. This is the spray bottle I use. You can get whatever you want. You can get one of those spray bottles from the dollar store, anything like that. I'm using the 2.2 iodine today. This is how we ship our products. They come in a box like this. This box will stand 200 pounds. So what that's for is you can throw it in your purse, throw it in your backpack. I mean, that's what I made this for, is to actually withstand a lot of, rough and tough. Inside this box, you get a bottle of iodine, and then there's a dropper, and it's in a bubble pack. We put a cap on the iodine because iodine has a gas, and it can harden this dropper. So if you're not going to use a lot of it, or if it's going to take 6 months, put the lid back on, clean this out. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 ounces. This is a quart mason jar, wide mouth, and when you look on it, on the side, it's marked. It has little indentations. If you look at them, you probably can't see them on the video. It goes from 4 ounce, 8 ounce, 16, 24, 32. So what we're going to do is 4 ounces. Now we're going to use distilled water. Now I use distilled water. Like I said, distilled water has a pH of about 4 or 5, 6. Usually it's around 5 or 6. So what we're going to do is we'll pour 4 ounces into the 4 ounces in. Now, if you want to use a Kegger machine, because you want to get the pH between 3 to 5, 6 is acceptable. Do not go above 6. There's machines that make a pH. And they use what they call the minerals in the water. This is called dead water, distilled water. There's no minerals, nothing in it. And the reason I like to use this is because when I'm working with iodine, I only want the iodine. So anyway, I will pour 4 ounces. There we go. Now, 4 ounces of water. We have a pH strip. Let's pour a little bit in here and test it. I have Hydron pH strips, and I have iodine testing strips. Now, you don't need those. This is just to give you an idea of how this works and the mechanics behind it. So we'll take the testing strip and put it in the water. And on the Hydron, there's these color strips. So when you look, this shows it's around, the pH is 5. So this is acceptable. I know you're watching and seeing this lemon juice. Well, that's to be added to actually make it even, a lower pH. It's also to make it taste better. A lot of people do not take iodine supplements because you add 1 or 2 drops into a glass of water and it does taste nasty. So the reason I'm showing you how to make an iodine supplement spray is you can spray it on your food, spray it in your mouth. It has a lot of benefits to an iodine supplement spray. So anyway, here's what we're going to do. Let's pull this back. We know what the pH is. So now let's drop some iodine in. Now, we're using vertical drops. Now, you have to make sure when you fill this up, see that there's a space in between there? Okay, that gap you don't want. So just put it back in there, and you want to have There. 5 vertical drops is what we're going to use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, there's 2 types of iodine, red and clear. This is the Lugol, so we're going to use red because that's where you're getting a little bit of color. Now, let's mix this baby up. Shake it up a little bit. You see there's not much color to it. Now, when you use these testing strips, the iodine, you dip it in and then take it out, and it takes 30 seconds. So, 1001. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause for a minute, and we'll come back in 30 seconds. Now we're starting. We've tested this. This has 20 parts per million. That's with 5 drops. If you want to add 5 more, which would make 10, it'll make it a lot darker. It actually will get close to this color. So we're going to stick with this. This is fine, 20 parts per million. That, it'll still do what it's needed, because in the industry, when they use it in the food, they tell you anywhere from 15 to and no more than 25. As a supplement, you can take what you want. I'm just going to do this for the sake of principle. Just do the 5 drops. Then what you do is you'll pour it into the 4-ounce container. That's what it looks like. So when you have the spray, you can see that there's no color. God, it's kind of blasé. So this is where the lime juice comes in. I just like lime juice because it actually helps get you, it works with your body very well. So I'm going to take a capful. Now you can keep it plain. I mean, if you're going to, spray it on food, your vegetables after you cook, it works great. And that's one thing that's neat about this is with your kids, they're not going to take an iodine, something like that. So, but if you spray it on the food, they will not taste this. Kind of like when you have lemon in your water. Okay, this is, like I said, 5 vertical drops is 20 parts per million. 10 drops is 40 parts per million. With things that are going on right now, if you want to get a higher iodine or iodine deficiency, and the doctor recommends it, I would do the 10 drops. But just for every day, for just spray it around on your food and stuff. And you can make this 4 ounces, then it's fresh. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them. I will be making another video on how to make it with 5%. Then I'll have another video on how we make it with potassium iodide and how you can make it with what we call SSKI or white iodine. Thank you, and stay healthy.